Hey everyone, this is Newman here with 910 Airgun Tuning and Repairs. Today we are doing a very highly requested video for the disassembly of an FX Dreamline. Here we go here. FX Dreamline, yep. Alrighty, so we're going to start from this side though. One of the first things in the video, obviously, to disassemble a gun, you have to take the stock off, so we're going to start with that. The first two screws right here are the screws that hold on the stock. They are 3mm Allen. So right here, I've got my 3mm. And we're just going to take this right here. If I can get in the hole. Alright, there we go. Take the Allen right there. Pop these two screws just like that. Sometimes they might be a little bit more difficult than others. Alright, that's going to come off just like that. And there we go. Now we've got the gun just by itself. Alright, now we're going to take off the air tube. This gun does have pressure on it, so in order to do that, we need to bleed off the pressure. Alright, now to properly bleed off this air tube right here, the best way to do it would be to loosen this gauge and to loosen your regulator gauge at the same time. You need to do this so that the regulator is not pushed farther into the tube by the pressure that the regulator holds back here. So first, as I said, we're going to loosen this gauge. You can hear it bleeding now. Then we're going to loosen this one. This is a 22mm open end. Bleed it just like that, and you'll see if you're bleeding it right, you can still see the screw hole right there. You can still see the screw through the hole for the adjustment. So now this is bleeding and this is bleeding. We're going to go ahead and open this up a little bit more and keep an eye on that screw to make sure it doesn't go forward. If that screw ever does go forward, then we will have to slow down the bleeding from the top. Alright, now we've bled off the tube. The tube is now completely empty. As you can see here, the gauge is reading 0, and in fact we can just go ahead and take the gauge right on off. Just like that. Obviously there's no air in the tank because I just took the gauge off and there's no air coming out. We can go ahead and remove this gauge as well, and there we go. There's both of our gauges right there. We'll go ahead and set those aside and skip to the next part. Alright, now that we got the tank complete, or the tube completely bled off, we can go ahead and take it off the gun. So all it is just unscrews right here from the action. Alright, there we go. There's the air tube. And we're going to go ahead and go over the air tube, so we're going to set the action to the side at this time. Okay, to first start with the air tube, the first thing will be to remove the regulator. This is your AMP regulator. Oh, and actually what just fell out here is the bushing that goes underneath the gauge. Right here, that's what seals it, so we can just go ahead and set that aside with the gauge. But back to this. This is your AMP regulator. What you're going to do is you can take a 5mm Allen. 5mm. And you're going to stick it in that Allen that you saw in the back of the amp regulator. And you're turn clockwise. That way you do not loosen any components of your regulator, yet it can give you a little bit of momentum twist to go ahead and pull that regulator on out. And there you go. There's your regulator right there. That's exactly how you do it. So remember, just stick the Allen key in it, just like that, and just turn clockwise. Turn clockwise, that way you don't loosen the regulator, anything inside the regulator at all. But it will go ahead and start pulling that regulator out for you. The next thing to do here is to remove your tube end. This is not Loctite on, but it is sealed with an O-ring in here. Generally, it is a very tight fit. So the best thing to do is to get some sort of rod, either like a Delrin rod, or else you can use like an Allen key or something like that wrapped in a towel to quickly remove this. I will today be using a Allen key wrapped in a towel in order to remove this. You wrap your Allen key in a towel or whatever metal you use to go into there so you don't burr the surfaces of your fill port. You don't want to burr inside here because I mean, alone from the visual damage, it can cause damage to your fill probe O-rings. I'm gonna move this down a little bit, maybe make this a little thinner. Alright, that should fit now. Right now I'm using a 6mm Allen key in order to do this. So there we go. We've got it all the way through the pad, so we can turn counterclockwise now. This one is a little bit more simpler than others are. And just use that as a handle. And again, like I said, be very careful as you do this because you can damage either side of the hole. You can mar it up pretty well, so just be gentle with it. You don't want to add excessive forces. You want to make sure that you're covered up. It's not metal to metal contact, anything like that. Just to make sure that you do not damage your gun. So there you have it. There's the tube right there. You can see all the way through it. Yep. There's your air tube. All right. That's the disassembly of your air tube right there. Okay. So this is your tube end here. You don't really need to disassemble anything. This is where your gauge normally goes with that gauge seal. But if you ever had a leak coming out of right here, out of your fill hole area, what that is your inlet valve is leaking. So you can see that screw down there. That's a 2.5mm Allen head on it. So we're going to take our 2.5, as I said, 2.5. And it should not be in there very tight. Very easily come out. So what's in there? It's a screw here, a small slot cut into the side of it right there. Might be hard to see on the video. And then an O-ring on it right there. So let me reassemble this real fast. That's how it sits inside, is just like that. That way, whenever it's pressed up against, air can push its way through, but whenever it goes to shut, that O-ring closes itself and no air can come out. Okay, so that's that. We're going to go ahead and set that aside. Alright, now back to the action. Before we get to the components of the action, we're going to go ahead and remove the barrel, just so we can have that out of the way. Quick note here, this barrel does have the Delrin sleeve that FX Sweden makes. It's called the barrel support. The earlier Dreamlines did not come with this as standard. It was before it was even invented. So if your Dreamline doesn't have this, I would recommend calling FX USA and ordering one of these. It is free, it's covered under warranty. And what this does is this helps barrel support. It helps the stability of your barrel. I mean, it's not really moving anywhere. It can't really bow with this sleeve on here. So yeah, if you're having any sort of point of impact issues, anything like that, I would definitely recommend getting this on there. Okay, now to remove the barrel, you've got 3 screws up top. This screw right here is a 4mm, but this normally acts as a plug for the transfer port whenever they mill it. Normally this does not cause any tension to the barrel, but sometimes it is a little tight. It does press down to the barrel, so it just needs to be backed out with like 1 thread maybe. This is also normally Loctite into place to help create that seal, so you will have to break the Loctite. Most of the time, that the Loctite is pretty tight. Sometimes I would recommend just a little bit of heat. Go ahead and break that. This one I can tell has already been broken. I can see little threads of the Loctite out, so gonna back that out about 1 turn or so. Then we're gonna take our 3mm Allen, and that's these front 2 holes right here, and we're gonna go ahead, set that down, and back these out about 3 turns, 3 threads or so. And that should give us enough clearance to go ahead and just go ahead and make magic, and whoop, there we go. There's your barrel assembly right there, tip to tip. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and set this aside. Alright, and now we're back to this, just your action right here. Just go over a few little points. few little parts of the action itself. You've got the power wheel. This is your transfer port adjuster right here, but it's also called the power wheel. You've got your trigger assembly. Then on this side you've got your safety assembly. You've got your hammer assembly, and then you have your cocking lever assembly. Also, another note, I forgot, you have your valve assembly on the inside there. So actually we're going to start with that real fast. For the valve assembly, you're going to need a 3mm Allen. Pretty long one too, because you got to reach all the way down in here. So we're going to take this, just break it free. Alright, and turn it over just like that, and there's your the valve housing, and then the spring. This is also called the spring holder or the valve holder. It's got a lot of different names. You can refer to it as a valve holder. It is on the schematic though, so if you ever had that in question, you can find that there. And then the valve pin and valve seat are still down there. Not quite sure if you can see in the video, but let's see. I've got my forceps here. Go ahead and pull out the valve pin. There we go, right there. Set that to the side. And then this pair of forceps right here, I've got grooved into the side. Little notches. This is for the larger valve seat. This is for the smaller valve seat like the Dreamline has. So what I can do is I can stick that down to the action, open it up. Those little notches will grab onto it, and there we go. There's your valve seat right there. Also, this method does not damage it because it actually grabs onto the back side there. So it's not going to damage your sealing surface, which is basically just this little coned rim right there. Alright, going to set that to the side and we'll move on. Alright, now that we got the valve assembly out of the way, we're going to go ahead and remove your transfer port assembly, or what I should call it actually is your power wheel assembly. It's got, like I said, it's another one of those things that got a lot of different names, but the best way to call it is your power wheel assembly. This changes the different sizes of the transfer port, so that it allows different sizes, amounts of air through your barrel. So, first step, you've got 2 screws on each side of the knob that hold the knob onto the assembly. So that's going to be a 1.5mm Allen. And then I've got this on my drill right here, just a 1.5mm bit. So we're just going to quickly just back those out a couple threads so they're not tight. Sorry for coming out of camera there. Anyways, there we go. Pop that out of camera real fast. We'll pop this off. Let's see. Alright, that should be good. Oh, and I failed to remember, you have to remove this screw right here first. This is going to be another 2.5mm Allen. Had a silly moment. So we're going to go ahead and remove this screw right here. Alright, take that screw, set it to the side. Then your wheel can pop right on off. Take that, set it to the side. Your wheel, the clicks of the wheel for the different settings are caused by this ball bearing right here. So we're going to go ahead and pop that out, set it to the side. I don't know if you can see that in the camera or not. There we go. Set that to the side. And then we're going to get a little dental tool here. Go ahead and pull out the spring. This is the spring that sits underneath the ball bearing. Set that to the side. So next, we should just be able to grab this part of the outer, it's called the outer power adjuster. Should just be able to grab it and pull it out. It's gonna be in there tough. It's put on there with it's held in place with O-rings. An O-ring suction is really tight fit. So a really good way actually would be to pull it out would be the pair of vice grips or something like that. Just carefully just grab onto these flat edges right here, grab on tight, and just pop it on out. Just be very careful not to mar it up whenever you do this. Like I said, there's 2 O-rings, one right here, one right here. Those help hold it in place. We're going to set that to the side now. And now we've got this inner adjuster left in there. That's held in place with this back here. This is another 2.5 millimeter. And you'll notice a little tiny screw right here. You'll see what that does in a second. You don't have to remove that small screw. So we're going to remove that screw right there. It's a very small countersunk screw. Back that out, and then there's still that small screw right there. Once this comes out, you'll see that notch right there. That screw sets into that notch so that it cannot twist while it's inside, so you always have an accurate measurement on your transfer port. Alright, now we're done with the power adjuster. Now it's time to move on. Alright, now onto the rear section of the rifle, or I should say your action, since we're down to just the action now. This does have to be removed in a special order. The first thing to remove here would be your trigger assembly right here. So what we're going to do, you'll see here, there's 4 pins in there that are held in place by 4 screws. So first we're going to remove these screws. Pull this up a little bit so you can see it on camera how small these screws are. So here's how small the screw is. It's very small, very, very small. So we're going to set this down. Be very careful not to lose that screw. Set it over. And then I'm going to fast forward real fast as I take out these other screws. Okay, now that the screws are out, you have 4 pins here. They need to be punched out in a specific order in order to remove the trigger. The first one, as this screw or this pin wanted to go ahead and fall out, that pin right there goes right there. That's for your first stage adjustment on the trigger. Go ahead and set that to the side. Your next one will be the next one in order, going from right to left, is for your trigger wheel. So what we're going to do here is we're going to get a punch. This punch is a 5/64 punch. There you go, 5/64. If it, I found out this works perfectly. It fits right in. It's a nice tight fit, as you can see. It's punching that out. There's your pin. Whenever I pull this punch out, you're be sure to keep your thumb on top of the trigger because it does have a spring underneath. It will pop out on you if you don't hold it down whenever you move that pin. So there's your trigger assembly right there. Set that to the side. Next screw, this one right here. This pin prevents the trigger sear from falling down too far and not resetting. So there's your third pin, and last but not least is the pin that's holding your trigger sear. So push that on through. There's the pin right there. And also I'm going to go ahead and turn this upside down so that whenever I pull the pin out, the trigger sear comes right on out. There we go. Alright, so that was the trigger. Alright, so now that we got the trigger removed, the next set will be to, or the next step I should say, will be to remove your hammer spring adjuster. So what that is going to be is trusty 5mm. I'm sure plenty of y'all have seen this hammer spring adjuster before. Just go ahead and back it on out. There we go. There's a hammer spring adjuster. Set that to the side. You might know some residue on the inner threads. What that is just Loctite to hold that adjuster in place. But now that we've got this removed, your hammer and your hammer spring will fall right on out. These Dreamlines do have a hammer weight in them. So that's what that piece right is. There's your hammer weight set inside to the hammer, and there's your hammer spring. Alright, so that was the hammer assembly. Alright, so for the second to last part of your action here, we've got the cocking assembly here. So that's simply, it's 2 simple screws actually. So we got one screw right here. It's a 1.5mm Allen. It's actually a special pin that has a thread on top and then turns into a pin. That's what holds your cocking lever in place back here at the pivot point. So we're going to take our 1.5mm bit, take it down in there, back it on out. And there you go. See how it has threads at the top, and then it's just a pin. So we're going to set that to the side. And with that to the side, the cocking assembly will come right on out. We can set the action to the side for a moment. And there you go. There's your cocking lever, there's your linkage, there's your probe holder, and there's your pellet probe. If you wanted to, you could always disassemble this for some reason. If you never needed to, there's a pin that sets that in place, and there's a pin that sets this in place. You just need to punch out those pins in order to remove them. This pin right here is what pulls the hammer back. Same thing here. If you ever need to remove it, you just punch the pin out. Or actually, I think this one you would have to pull out. But to remove your pellet probe, there's one more screw here. Again, it is a 1.5mm. So we're going to take this, back out that screw just slightly. You don't have to back it out all the way, just slightly. And then your pellet probe will come right on out. You can do this in order to change calibers. Whenever the cocking assembly is in the rifle and you want to change your calibers, what you do is you remove the barrel, and then you're going to loosen that screw. This probe will fall right on out the breech, and then you slide the new one in, you line it up, you tighten it, and that's how you can change calibers. Okay, last but not least, we've got your safety assembly here. So we've got your arm here. Best way to remove that, actually, or the way to remove that, is there's actually a 1.5mm Allen all the way down inside there. So once again, we're going to take the trusty drill here with our Allen bit on it. It's a 1.5mm like I said. Stick it down there. Just give it a little loosen. You don't have to loosen all the way, just a couple turns. And then this should slide right on out. Maybe I didn't get it. There we go. I think I got it that time. Yep, there we go. There's your safety lever. And then after that, you can just pop this right on out. Be careful though, because there is a spring and ball bearing right here underneath the safety. So I'm going to go ahead and step my finger over that just in case it comes popping out just like that. So first of all, here's your safety pivot, safety bar, however you want to call it, safety cylinder. This is what activates the safety. Alright, let me find that ball. Oh, there we go. There's the ball bearing. It makes it go click click whenever you change it from safety to fire. And let's see if I can get it to come out. Oh, yep, there we go. There is your spring. Alright, well there you go. There's your naked action right there. There's the screws left for the barrel. I've left those in there. And there's 2 O-rings left. You got your O-ring right here for around whenever your tube slides on, or if you have a bottle adapter, whenever your bottle adapter goes on. That's what seals that. And then also you have an X-ring right here. That is for your regulator gauge. Alright, that's the disassembly of your FX Dreamline. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, or else shoot me a message on Instagram. I can certainly help you out with that. I will have a reassembly video shortly. Alright, thank you very much for watching.